Hello, baby.
Hello, nasty. Hello there.
Hello.
I say hello.
Hello, friend.
Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends. Hello, operator. The beginning of everything.
Welcome back, my friends.
It's showtime.
Hello and welcome to episode 302 of The Brink of Sanity. I am Jay. How you doing, Mark?
Good. How are you, Jay?
Great. I am just fantastic.
I have a question for you. I have a proposition for you.
Ooh.
Let's say I'm a genie here. I can make you grant you a huge amount of money. I'm going to grant you $8 million. You can do whatever you want with. You like this so far?
So far, so good.
Okay. $8 million. The only thing you have to do every day is you have to go around New York City collecting cans or bottles. Once you get to $20 worth of cans, you could stop and do whatever you want the rest of the day. You do that every day, and you get $8 million.
Uh,
Are you down?
I'm trying to do the quick math in my head. Oh, that's
The $20
That's only
Yeah.
400 cans. That's not that much.
Is that 400 cans? Is that the
Yeah.
math on it? Is it a nickel a can? So you need 20. Yeah, 400 cans. Okay. So every day, whatever time you set your own schedule, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
You go around the city, New York City, find 400 cans, and people throw stuff around throw cans away all the time. No one recycles this stuff. A nickel's who even gives a crap about a nickel?
Right.
So, but you can't just take your own money and give it. You have to actually collect them. You have to do the action of collecting them.
Yeah.
So $8 million, you collect 400 cans a day. You down?
For how long?
Your life, your entire goddamn life, Jay, until you're crippled and cannot walk anymore.
Oh.
Doesn't sound like a good idea to you?
I don't think so, no.
You wouldn't something you wouldn't voluntarily do.
I feel like 400 cans is a lot harder than it sounds.
Well, not to Lisa Dikowski. She is what they call a secret millionaire. She lives in Brooklyn, owns more than $8 million worth of real estate, and spends every day going around New York City collecting between $20 and $30 worth of cans.
So, but how is she? Oh, she got rich and then decided that's what she's gonna do.
Yes, yeah. She made the money some other way. She's got
I'm crunching the numbers. I'm like $20 a day, $8 million. That doesn't add up.
No. That didn't translate into the money. She has an MBA from University of Chicago. She's a bright woman who made a lot of money, I guess, in real estate. Has $8 million worth of real estate. She owns a $1 million co-op in Prospect Park. She's living the good life, except she chooses to spend her free time collecting $20 to $30 worth, so $400 to $600 worth of number of cans every day.
Man, she's gonna feel real dumb when she realizes Netflix exists.
This is her go-to activity.
Yeah, no. I mean,
also,
if I had millions of dollars and I didn't have to work, I would definitely sift through garbage for like 8 hours a day.
and she sounds like quite a catch, right? She's got
Yeah.
a husband who makes $180 grand a year.
Oh, God.
He's a marketing analyst and stockbroker, and he goes to work and she goes to collecting cans, and they have $8 million in real estate.
So you know what this proves?
The people are goddamn insane.
Well, I was gonna say that there's no God.
There's no God. What the fuck is wrong with people?
I mean, you're blessed with the gift of being wealthy and never having to work again, and you decide to pick up cans. Not only that, you're actually taking away a significant amount of cans from bums who actually need that tool.
Yes, exactly.
So you're actually being a huge
You're-
dickhead.
You got $8 million and you're robbing the poor.
She's probably just this super racist neo-Nazi. It's like, fuck these homeless black people. I'm gonna take all their cans, all of them.
You know, you hear about someone who's really rich, but they still drive a beat up old Ford pickup truck, and they live, and you're like, oh, okay, well, and they're like, that's how I get rich. I saved my money.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the kind of report, this kind of news report the person was thinking that was doing the news report. But he talks to this woman. She claims this to collect at least 400 cans a day. Why does he not call the people with the white jackets and get her locked up?
Yeah,
She's
no, that's-
obviously fucking insane.
She's a maniac.
Yeah, like I wonder if her husband doesn't even know. He's just like, whatever. I'm sleeping with my secretary anyway. I didn't even know she was like. Of course, I'm sleeping with my secretary. Have you seen my fucking wife? She goes around the city just like a homeless person collecting cans. We've got $8 million. What the fuck's wrong with her?
I'd be so mad.
Honey, I'm off to be a stockbroker. Okay, I'm off to collect Diet Coke cans.
I mean,
But I make a lot of money and we have a ton of money. Yeah, but you never. But your job does not take away money from the homeless, and I want to do that.
I work with the homeless. Oh, you spend your time at a homeless shelter and you hand out food and stuff? No, I take all their cans so that they just die.
I rob them nickels at a time.
Yeah.
Can you imagine also like you get to some can and like there's a real homeless person being like, "Oh, jackpot!" And she's like, "Those were mine. I saw them first." Weren't you on the lifestyles of the rich or famous? Yeah. Now I'm on the lifestyles like, "Oh, fuck you, homeless person."
I just figured I'd take his only source of income and food.
Yeah. You're hoping to get a couple nickels to get yourself a can of soup. Well, I own the soup company.
I'm gonna recycle 400 cans, take that $20 bill, and wipe my ass on it when I take a shit.
And then I'm gonna put that piece of shit, that shit covered $20 bill, on the floor and watch you pick it up with your shit covered hands and then take it back from you. Capitalism wins.
What a terrible human being.
Holy shit! I assume this person's mentally deranged. I don't understand why the news story does not end with and then we had her locked up. Like seriously, like how is the person? Yeah, it's also the story that mentions how like the guy that founded IKEA drove the same Volvo for 2 decades and preferred to fly by coach, even though he had billions of dollars. Those people should all be locked up. Like, just if you have all that money, you're not spending it properly, you should be locked up. If you're driving the same Volvo for 2 years to like 20 years, something's mentally wrong with you.
This is why trickle-down economics does not work.
Because the people that have all the money are fucking crazy.
Yeah, they're crazy and they don't spend it. People argue with me like, oh, well, when the rich people have money, they spend more. I'm like, no, they don't. They put it in the bank and they hoard it like Scrooge McDuck.
You know what they do when they have all the money? They collect cans and take the last bit of money we have left.
For every Jerry Seinfeld who has like 200 cars, there is the IKEA guy who doesn't spend a penny more than he has to.
Yeah, I don't want to be political this episode, but I just thought this story was insane. Just goes around the city collecting. It's great also because you would see her and be like, "Oh, ma'am, here's $1." She's like, "I've got 8 million more of these." Sorry, what? No, how about I give you $1? I'm rich beyond belief. You just assume because I'm collecting cans from a garbage can that I'm poor. Don't judge a book by its cover.
She disgusts me.
Oh my God! Can you also you live next to her, your neighbor? You're like, I've made it this far in life, and my neighbor collects cans and brings them home probably. And she goes to the supermarket to put her cans in the machine, and the guy's like, "Oh, I feel so bad for her. I could buy and sell you, Johnny."
It would be weird, but it would at least be nice if she collected the 400 cans and then picked a bum lottery winner and gave the bum all 400 cans.
Like she makes it rain on cans with him.
Yeah,
she just throws she gets just starts pegging you with cans. Here, it's your lucky day, asshole.
That would at least the end result would be the bum getting the $20.
Stop hitting me with cans! I was in Vietnam. That was my crazy story the other day. What's new with you, Jay? Actually, I have 2 crazy stories.
Oh, okay.
More. I don't know if you've heard. Have you been following the wildfires in Southern California?
A little bit. I know they're fiery and they're not stopping and they're huge. That's pretty much the story, right?
Maybe I should just read you the story. Pro-Trump conspiracy theorist accused of setting California on fire.
Just the whole state.
This place is going to burn. Forrest Clark alleged. Leslie texted a volunteer firefighter 2 weeks before the fire. The part that I love, the reason I brought it up, is on this guy's Facebook page. First off, he was arrested shirtless. They have to mention that because that's just he had to be arrested shirtless. Anyway, so his Facebook page repeatedly posts references to absurd theories. He's one of these QAnon guys. Also, have you heard of QAnon?
I actually read up on it this weekend for the first time, so now I'm well versed.
Tell us what it is, Jay.
So, QAnon is this huge conspiracy that there's like an inner circle group of pedophiles that basically control everything, right? Is that
Yeah, wait, a secret group of pedophiles. So we're talking about the church?
another one?
Okay.
This one's like runs political, and it includes most of Hollywood, I think, and Hillary Clinton's in on it, and
Yeah.
I think according to them, Hillary Clinton like runs it.
So this guy, apparently there's a guy who started posting things on Reddit or one of those, maybe it was not Reddit, some other message board, basically claiming to be a deep insider in the government with what they call level Q clearance, which is, I guess, some high level clearance. That's why they
He
call
was
him.
also the awesome guy in the James Bond movies that shows off all the cool gadgets.
That's a much cooler guy than this. So this guy has level Q and an Q anonymous, QAnon. And he's supposed to be talking about the secret pedophile wing. Anyway, so this guy who supposedly set the fires or set one of these big fires, he repeatedly posts references to absurd theories, including about Pizzagate, supposed satanic cabals, and see if you can guess the last ones. What would be the most insane? Think of the most insane conspiracy theory that you could think of, and I will top it right now.
I would say child sacrifice and
You're going in the wrong direction. I'm just going to tell you, Jay.
okay.
I'm going to read you the caption. I'm not going to show you the picture, and you will. We don't need the picture for this. The caption of the picture he posted is that Hebrew writing on my ginger snaps?
Yeah, I was way off.
So apparently, ginger snap cookies have Hebrew writing that has something to do with the pedophile ring or something.
You know, you start off with a good conspiracy theory, and then you just throw it all away with something that's stupid.
Yeah. I mean, clearly, it's higher. Clearly, it's like Farsi, not Hebrew writing.
You're like,
God.
there's this inner circle of people that control everything. Like, yeah, that's interesting. Tell me more. It's like, yeah, and they have these secret meetings where they decide the fate of everyone. Okay, all right, go on. Yeah, and then they write messages in ginger snap cookies. I'm out.
You're like, I wish I hadn't agreed with you up to this point.
Yeah.
Oh God. Holy shit, our country's going to hell. I mean, this the question is, who's crazier? The person that sees Hebrew writing on their ginger snaps, or the person with $8 million that goes around collecting cans every day?
Are we sure it's different people?
Well, one's definitely in Brooklyn, one definitely is in California, so there's different people.
Because,
But,
I mean, there is 16 more hours in the day.
that's true.
I mean, what is... Let's go back to that lady, but what does she do in the other 16 hours?
She writes Hebrew lettering on ginger snap cookies. That's what she does.
I mean, all right, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Say she sleeps 8 hours a day. There's still 8 hours of insanity going on.
Well, like, so say she's awake for 16 hours. She has breakfast, goes out. You think, like, how many hours do you think it takes you to get these cans?
Oh,
Like
you're
saying, let's say you're saying
think
40.
about it. This is multiple trips to the supermarket too. You can't carry 400 cans at once.
Well, if you're doing 400 cans, let's just say you're working. I'm going to say she works a 10-hour day. That's 40 cans an hour. That is almost. That's a lot of cans.
Yeah, because I mean, 40 cans an hour is not an unrealistic pace, considering you need.
What do you mean it's not an unrealistic case? It's not like that's a tough pace. You have to go from garbage can to garbage can. It's not like you're just collecting them like from one garbage can.
Right,
There
but
is-
I figure the sweet spots. Maybe there's like a busy intersection. You could get like 10 right there.
So you say because she's been doing this for say 10,000 hours, she's built up that Malcolm Gladwell efficiency at this. She knows where to hit. She's much more efficient than the average. Like me or you probably would take a week to get 400 cans. She's done it in 7 hours.
Right, she's like the Moneyball of can collecting.
Okay. Yes.
So, but then like you got to think it. Unless you got to have a contraption or something, you got to go to the grocery store to cash those things in every 50 to 100.
A giant one of those big black garbage bags, like those 10, 15-gallon bags. Could you hold 400 cans in that?
No, you couldn't possibly hold more than 100. So she's taking at least 4 trips to the grocery store a day.
Okay, and so if you're sitting there with 100 cans at the supermarket, And you could probably put one can in every. How long does it take you? Probably takes you 10 seconds to do a can because the thing has to process it.
Maybe 5.
How many cans do you think you could do in a minute?
15.
15 cans.
No,
That's
10.
No.
10.
10 cans a minute.
10 cans a minute.
Well, it's only 10 minutes. This got to take. I feel like you're at the supermarket for like an hour. Also, you get there and some fucking lady is just there doing her cans. She doesn't know you have serious business to do, and she's trying to turn in like 6 cans and can't figure out how to use the machine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. There could be a line.
Yeah, like people might be there. Other people who are legitimately homeless and who like are trying to like get cans. Sometimes there's a line at the can thing. Where the can thing is like broken.
Went right back to this topic.
I don't know which topic is more insane.
I think the can thing, to be honest. I haven't looked.
Hey, so do you work here at Whole Foods? Okay, cool. So do you have ginger wraps with Hebrew writing on them? You know like the ginger wraps that have Hebrew writing. Like I need messages from the government.
You mean just ginger snaps?
No. The ginger snaps that come with the wink wink Hebrew writing about the pedophile ring.
Right, that's all ginger snaps. They've cornered the market on ginger snaps.
Okay, so
it doesn't matter what brand. They all have it.
Is there
Well, first of all, there's only like 3 brands because nobody eats ginger snaps.
They're pretty good actually.
I don't even know what it is.
Oh, it's a ginger. It's a cookie that's like ginger. It's tasty. It's one of those cookies you're having. You're like, you eat it. And you're like, why didn't I just have a chocolate chip cookie? Why did they even invent this? It tastes kind of like a gingerbread man.
Okay, I'm looking up ginger snaps right now. Completely random. Are you talking about the box or the actual cookie?
This is the actual cookie.
Yeah, they're just cracks in the cookie. It's not like a symbol.
No, they are Hebrew writing, asshole.
Okay.
Here, I'll send you the link.
Yeah. So, now I'm.
And if you want to see more about the Hebrew writing on ginger snaps, go to Infowars because I'm sure they're covering it. You can't get the Infowars through Facebook, but I'm sure you could find. Just type crazy in Google and you'll find Infowars.
I just Googled Google Images for ginger snaps Hebrew, and there is not one picture of a crazy conspiracy. I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, no. Apparently, this conspiracy prime, I think, died at his Facebook page. But
that's disappointing.
Before saying California Blaze, here's also why can't there be a guy who sees Hebrew writing on the ginger snaps and they tell him to like go donate money to charity?
Right.
Why is everyone like here? You hear a talking dog and the dog doesn't tell you to like, oh, help an old lady cross the street. Why is it never good news?
It's always something sinister.
Yeah. I developed a second personality, and that second personality likes to go to soup kitchens and feed people. Sometimes I wake up and I fed like 30 people and I don't even remember.
I don't know. I guess it just goes with the territory.
So for today's show, we have a top 5 prepared. Wait, do you have any more anything you want to bring up before we do a top 5?
No, let's do it. Let's jump into it.
Okay, so we did a top 5. We're going to do a little bit less political today, even though the entire show has been kind of political. Well, whatever. Jay and I have decided we want out of our current jobs. And actually, before I even do this, I just want to mention one thing. So Steven, our resident fan from Toronto,
literally never going to get to this.
Get to in a second. So he likes Facebook Messenger. He likes to message us through it. But instead of sending goddamn messages like a normal human being, he likes to send us voice messages, which means he records something, a voice message, sends it, and we have to like hit play and hear his voice instead of seeing what he types. So instead of having someone text with you, they send you a voice message. You have to hear their goddamn voice. Does this bother you at all?
It wasn't for a while because I was always around a computer, or like for some reason it doesn't work on my phone without my headphones. So over the weekend he was sending me messages and I couldn't listen to them because I didn't have headphones around. And
Does your phone normally play like Like if I play a podcast, can you will that work or is it?
Yeah, everything else works. It's just these weird voicemails don't. And so the voicemails started getting angrier and angrier. And then I got my headphones because then I was concerned that he might figure a way out of Canada to kill me.
Well, the thing is, it's also I'm usually doing other things, and it's like I don't want to hear a message out loud, but I could type back to you, write a message to me. But I don't want a different form of communication that I'm using. It's like me writing you a message and you sending me a letter back. It doesn't work.
Well,
but
I think
anyway,
it's also this particular person. I never want to play them without headphones because you never know what they're going to say.
So he sent me messages via like his voice message the other day. I wrote back to him, "Yo, I don't listen to your voice messages," and he sent me 2 more voice messages. So then, like the next day, I'm getting ready for bed. I'm in the bathroom.
Oh,
I'm like,
you listen to those right before bed? That's not a good call.
So I'm getting ready for bed,
and then I never slept again.
Okay, so anyway, so I play one of them, and it's like listen to my messages. Play another one, he's like, "You're too good to listen to my voice messages," and I'm like, "Okay, fine, whatever. Let's see what else he wrote." Then he did that, and then I pressed the other one, which I'd gotten when I was hanging out with my kids. And this message starts off with, it's like 30 seconds long. It starts with, "So let's say I'm banging your wife." I'm like, I'm done.
And this is why we don't listen without headphones.
This is why we don't listen without headphones. This is why I need just written messages, because you're talking about banging my wife as fucking part of your message.
Well, I got one about banging my girlfriend, so we're
Okay.
even.
Yeah. He's in Canada. It's fine. Anyway, so we're doing a top 5 for the show. We want out of our current jobs. We want to. I don't know if we need to be rich, but we need to find jobs that we like better. We need to find we need to do things with our lives. It would be nice if we became rich, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, Jay and I both have a top 5 of realistic business ideas that we are going to pitch to each other. And anyone else that's listening wants to invest in the idea, feel free to contact us. We'll invest. It's going to be a bit of a Shark Tank thing we got going.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to start, Jay, or you want me to start with my first idea?
Sure. I just want to say the first one I came up with turned out to be a real invention, and I was quite shocked.
It's the computer?
It is a pet translator. So, your cat meows, and then the thing will say, what your cat just said to you.
Oh, by the way, we for the show, we also agreed that you don't have to be able to actually execute the idea, being able to, do the coding and do that. We're cool. You may not be able to figure that out, but it's fine.
Right.
And
so I looked, and the pet translator actually exists.
Is it sold on InfoWars? What is a pet, how is there a real pet? I understand your idea is kind of almost a funny idea, but how is it a real idea? What the hell is someone selling? What is it when the dog goes, the thing goes, "Hi, how are you doing? Did you have a good day at work?"
I hope it's just sarcastic stuff, you spent money on this.
That would be... Where did you see the idea?
So stupid.
You are a moron. What if you get
have bought more food for me? You bought this.
I think there was a bit about this on they did a pet translator on SNL, and the pet turned out to be a big Trump supporter, and the owner was just appalled.
I am shocked that SNL did a skit about Trump.
Yeah. Scientists developing device to convert dog barks into English language. Says scientist wasting his fucking time.
So that was not one of mine because it was actually taken, which
was
really shocking to me.
A researcher studying North American prairie dogs for 30 years, he found that the animals have their own language system that conveys complicated structures and commands. Don't you think maybe he's just crazy, and this is one step away from collecting cans on the street?
I think for 25 years, he said, "Holy shit, this is just random noises and it makes no sense." But now I'm too invested. I have to come up with an entire language now because if not, then I would have just wasted my life.
It's like, "Hey Bill, the grant money, they gave you all that grant money. If you don't have a language, you have to pay back the grant money." They're speaking to each other. I'm gonna crack the code.
You know Brian Regan?
Yeah.
He does a whole bit on the guy who figured out what the whales are saying.
What are they saying?
And he's like, well, who's going to call him out on it? He just comes in one day, slams an envelope on the desk, and goes, "Well, this is what the whales are saying." "All right, thanks, Bob." You can't, who's going to call a guy out unless they just do the same amount of research on it?
Yeah, you're like, "Oh, Oh, because you understand the whales. Because I actually do. You understand them? Okay, well, maybe they weren't talking about the Real Housewives of Orange County. How do you know? You can't speak whale.
We should just do counter studies. Just fuck with all these people.
Dogs can't speak human. Here's the tech that could change that. Ay.
Did you ever watch Tom Green?
No.
He did a thing where it was Undercutter's Pizza, and he would follow like a Domino's car, and then when they pulled up, he would run up to the door before them with a pizza and like a tray of different toppings and ask what they ordered, and then offer it for like $2 less. He would just like throw like pepperoni on the pizza.
That's really funny.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Okay, so that was your first idea.
No, that was I couldn't count that one.
Okay.
Surprisingly, I don't think this one exists. A translator for humans. I don't know why the dog one is invented, but the human one isn't. But like, say next time I go to Japan, it would be really cool if, like, somebody said something to me in Japanese, and then a voice would instantly translate that and tell me what they said.
Don't they have that?
Do they? I don't know. If they do, then I should have brought that to Japan, because all I did is say konnichiwa and bow to everybody.
I mean, speak and translate. There's tons of translators.
Instant ones?
I don't know.
I'm not
Translator,
talking like-
translator voice, translator apps on Google Play. Google Translate, intelligent voice translate. It's a whole category on Amazon.
Well, I mean, Google Translate is you have to type it in. I'm talking like somebody.
Yeah, these are
speaks
voice
to me.
things. Go on Amazon. There's like 50 products listed.
Really?
Yeah. Did you do any research?
I did on the pet one. I didn't on the human one.
If someone invents a place on Facebook to post your, so if someone invents a place on the internet to post your pictures, that'd be great. Okay. Let me go. My you're. By the way, so I'm not investing in your idea because it's terrible because it's already out there.
Okay.
If I want to invest in your idea, I can just invest $72 here on Amazon to get the idea. yours is theoretical. I can have this idea. I can have this one in 2 days.
Wait, you don't want to give me $2 million for R&D? You want to just spend 72 on the actual product?
Okay, so this one, my first idea, I don't know how to actually execute the, like, I don't know what you need to biologically, like, how to make the drug, but it's a cure for itching. So you, every time you have an itch, you take one of these and you no longer have an itch.
Isn't it called moisturizer?
Well, now you don't have itching. What if you had to get, let's say you had to get shots every week for 8 weeks and you'd never itch again? Not dry skin, just like regular itching.
I don't itch that much.
You don't itch that much?
No.
I randomly itch. You never randomly itch. Your back just
I randomly itch, but...
How much would you pay to get rid of itching for the rest of your life?
Not much.
Not much. Really?
Not much. I feel like it's not a big deal.
I think it would be, I'm going to get rich from curing itching. No one even works on itching.
'Cause nobody cares. Unless you have, like, a chicken pox or something.
Yeah. Well, that's a bad. I mean, regular everyday
Is
itching.
chicken pox still a thing?
Yeah, it's still a thing. I think kids still get it. I think they might do vaccines for kids. Actually, I don't know. My kids have not had vaccines for it, and I don't know any kids have gotten it yet. But at some point, my kids probably will get it.
I mean, when I was a kid, everyone got it. But I don't know if it's still a thing.
Yeah, actually, I know. I haven't heard about a single kid. Maybe they get vaccines for it now. I should be like a better parent and know these things. My
Why,
wife
it's only
knows.
potentially fatal.
Yeah, no. I was just thinking that like I got it and my wife got it when we were kids, but like I have kids, so like at some point they'll be getting, I don't know, whatever.
It's the weirdest disease.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. It's also kind of the only disease where like your parents are like, go hang out with Jimmy and get his disease.
Huh?
When you're younger, your parents want you to get chickenpox.
No.
Yes. They want you to get it when you're
What kind of
kids. You don't get it when.
sadistic parents did you have?
My parents.
Go out and get a disease.
Wait, hold on a second. What's up? What about the envelope?
This is the second straight episode.
Oh,
that
shut
still
up.
Got interrupted for stamps or envelopes. Why don't you put your mailroom in one of your other rooms? This is the most ridiculous setup. And
I
why
have
is
a
your wife?
podcast / U.S. mail and post office.
Why is your wife always mailing stuff in the middle of the night? Who is she?
What else? What else are we gonna mail stuff?
I don't know. After work, it's always like right before bed. Oh, I got to mail stuff.
We got a mail.
And
I don't know.
the only
Maybe
place to mail stuff is in the podcasting room.
if you had kids, you'd be mailing stuff at 9:30 at night, also, Jay.
Not from the podcasting room.
And we had to like leave the house to mail the letter because we don't know how to mail a letter from our house either, as we discussed last show.
Okay, let's.
Okay, so I cured it. I cured itching. Okay, what's your idea? Next idea.
This one, I mentioned probably like 8 years ago on the show, but I still want to do it.
Yeah.
The neighbor rater.
Oh, God.
So it's kind of like you plug in where you live, and you rate the neighbors on all sides of you. So that way, when you're looking for an apartment, you look up the address, and you can tell if you have crazy people who don't sleep and run the water for 24 hours a day.
Well, you know what you should do? If you do this idea, you should put on fake reviews about yourself saying you're the worst neighbor ever. And that way no one will like all the apartments around you will be empty.
Right. It's like, hey, if you move in here, the guy below you has a speed bag that he attached to the ceiling. Just FYI.
So it's gonna be like a by apartment? People are gonna list like because then you're like, oh, Tom in 2G says that Allison in 2E is a horrible neighbor. Then Allison sees the rating online.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I don't know any way around that. I mean, even if you don't put the apartment, it's like, who else has a speed bag attached to the ceiling?
It's also who else has posted the reviews about you but your neighbors.
Yeah, I mean, there would be no positive ratings ever.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it would just be also a way to complain about each other and then have it make me like, oh, I didn't realize. Like, it'll get even worse, basically. Like, fights will just break out instantly from people reading their reviews.
Or maybe people will be afraid of having shitty reviews and actually act like normal human beings.
Why do they care? It's not like It's not like Yelp with a restaurant wants more customers. Your neighbors don't want neighbors, so everyone's encouraged to be even worse.
You're gonna have neighbors. It's the city. Maybe
not if I get really bad reviews on Neighbor Rater.
Maybe he'll be like, "Oh, for some strange reason, I didn't realize that punching a bag into the ceiling is loud on the other end."
And
Maybe
what
I
if
should
like
be more considerate?
What if so you write that by your neighbor. He writes that you're running a pedophile ring related to like ginger snaps on your cookies, and then it goes back and forth.
All right, so you don't like this idea?
No, I don't like this idea. Okay, my next idea. So far,
we're not going to get rich.
So far, I'm not investing in your translator because I found it on Amazon.
Does that really exist?
Yeah. Voice. Here, I will send it to you, Jack. This is just the first one I looked up. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe you should look up Amazon before. Okay, so would you invest in my itch? It seems like you would not invest in my itching cure.
No.
By the way, this is also why we're stuck in our current jobs. So you know how this is a service you can get either for yourself to make yourself feel better, or it works better if you get it for a friend to make your friend work better.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a wingman. It's like, Jay, let's say you're like, I feel like I'm a little overweight, but you hang around with people who are like 300 pounds, you feel like the thin guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the loser wingman plant. So you get it for your friend. You plant someone in their lives, like someone's undercover in their life who's such a bigger loser than they are. And this person basically makes them feel better.
So it's for somebody else. They don't know that person's there. They're just like, hi, I'm your new friend.
They work their way into your life. They're good enough to like become friends in your life, and they become like you're like everything you complain about. They're like everything's so much worse for them. You're like, oh, like we have a lot of meetings at work. Yeah, at work they steal my underwear and make fun and call me sissy pants. You're like, oh, well that job's a lot worse. Oh, I can't. You're like, oh, I'm having trouble. Like I'm going on dates. I don't like the girls I date. And he's like, I haven't been on a date in my entire life. So like, he makes you feel better about yourself by being like a bigger loser than like. It's like to make it helps your self-esteem by comparison.
I get where you're going with this, but how much do you actually have to care about your friend to go through? Because this can't be cheap
They're just going undercover in your life for a couple of years.
Like I could be like, Mark kind of sucks, but do I want to spend like $5,000 to have like a covert fake friend penetrate his life?
I think it's gonna be like 50 grand actually for this.
Yeah, this sounds
But like, if you had someone, let's say you had a family member who you felt like was having a lot of problems, you wanted to help that family member. This is someone you guys can all like chip in to make their life better. Or you can just get it for yourself. You have just like a 300-pound guy that's gonna hang out with you, and like you're like, should I have like an extra slice of pizza? And the other guy's like, ooh, I'm gonna eat the table. I'm so hungry. Like he's just disgusting. I'm eating like gallons of ice cream next to you, so I make you look thin by just eating a slice, like an extra slice of pizza.
I like the sentiment behind it. I feel like you're gonna have a hard time getting people to actually use this product.
Okay, well, that was my loser wingman idea.
Okay, this
What do you
one I
got?
think we got a winner on this one.
Okay.
Okay, so we spend a lot of time. Well, I spend more than you. Debating people. You have a difference of opinion. Somebody thinks trickle down economics works or whatever, and then you.
By the way, I try to avoid debating people anymore. I've given up on doing that in my life.
It never works. Like it never ends where somebody's like, you know what, you made a valid point and you swayed my opinion. Like
Here's the thing. The only person I debate about anything now in my life at all is I debate my wife about different things we're doing for the kids. Because if one of us is right, that actually changes things. Well, what we do with the kids, it has a lasting effect. We're really changing things in the kids' lives. Arguing on Facebook, who gives a fuck?
yeah.
Nothing changes.
But sometimes you see something so stupid you feel compelled to argue anyway.
I don't feel compelled. But you guys, okay. I'm gonna go with it.
A lot
I feel
of
compelled.
A lot
Okay.
of people do.
A
Okay.
lot of people do. About 1 billion people on Facebook do.
So this is hired automatic political arguers. I got to work on the name because that doesn't really flow, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So basically, you hire a person. They're well informed. They post nothing but factual statements. They do their own research before they type, and they take over your debates for you, saving you time. And
So like the New York Times covers your postings on
yeah,
Facebook.
he has references and everything. Like
You're hiring out. Hey, you know how print journalism's dying? Well, reporter, you could be my You could be my arguer on Facebook.
mm-hmm. What do you
So
think?
you
of that?
hire out reporters to argue for you on Facebook with real facts.
Yeah, it saves you time. It gives them work.
Gives you time. How much are you going to pay these? Okay, so I'm formerly a newspaper. How much do you think a newspaper reporter for the any big publication earns? Like a daily beat writer probably earns 80 grand, 100 grand. Not the main guys, but like
I would say like
50.
60,
Okay, 50.
yeah, 50,
Yeah.
60.
Yeah, it's hard to make money in writing. So can this person make 50 grand doing news feeds for people to argue with?
Well, no, but this would be more like people are losing their jobs because less people are buying newspapers.
Yeah. This is a way to
you
like
want a supplemental income. So this isn't their full time job, but hey, maybe like 10 hours a week. I wanna do some of this.
it's like that site Fiverr where people get like random tasks, but this is random tasks for former news journalists.
Right.
Where you're like you send them a picture of what you want to argue with on Facebook, and then they send you curated arguments back.
Well, you just send them the thread. Like your uncle says,
Right.
Trump's the greatest thing ever because Space Force rules. And then this guy
Did your uncle really
researches
say
space.
that?
Probably. No, he has not that I know of.
By the way, Space Force so much crazier than Ginger Snaps or anything else. But go on.
So maybe you have a family member that is really into Space Force, and this person researches and shows how much of a waste of money it would be.
So
and,
it's like you send in for $5, he'll be your Cyrano de Bergerac for like 5 minutes for bringing you a couple arguments back.
Yeah, you pay by the hour or the minute. You say like go back and forth with this guy for a half hour, and that's.
By the way,
That's
are you in favor of the Space Force that Donald Trump is proposing if they call it Space Force Coast to Coast?
It would definitely make it a little more palatable if they did that.
I would actually be totally down for it then. So basically, here's the site. I can post my Facebook arguments, and they'll give you $5 worth of like arguments back, or $10 worth of arguments back.
Yes.
I almost think this is a good idea.
All right.
I almost think you should do this idea. You should with the CPA do it, because
I think it's not a bad idea.
It sounds so goddamn insane, but so is the goddamn internet. If you had people like, obviously a reporter, someone who's trained in arguing is going to do a better job than 99% of the people online.
Well, you could also get people who are really passionate about their position and like want to argue this point.
Yeah, all day all day for a living. Basically, I just get to make money arguing against crazy people that are pro-Trump, say, or that people that like think that LeBron's better than Michael Jordan. I can spend all day arguing this with my research, all my research I do.
Yeah, those idiots who say that Jordan had better teammates, and then you could link them to the one All-Star ever that Jordan played with.
Yeah, that would be I mean, holy shit, this is actually a pretty good idea, because it's such a bad idea that it's a good idea. And the problem is that once you start it, someone else is gonna some other like
if it
300 other
catches on,
websites.
somebody with more money is going to do it better.
But wow, if you could link up newspaper reporters with assholes who like to argue online, it would go a long way. And then people would be like, "Wait a second, you're using Jay's reporters to argue with me." What do I say now? What do I say now?
Yeah.
No, I am not.
Prove
because
you're really Jay.
Prove you're not using Jay's reporters on me.
Okay, so
you might win
maybe
tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea, actually. I don't know how you should actually look into starting this idea, Jay. I kind of like this idea. If we could contact get a bunch of newspaper reporters who, it's like anything else. Like it's like when they have I think there's a site that like you could hire chefs to come into your house and make a meal. This is just like a chef, but you're a newspaper reporter.
Mm-hmm.
There's another site actually that'll get you could hire out celebrities to like send messages to people. Have you heard of this?
No.
Like you'd hire out like B-list celebrities. Like there was one where they got Perez Hilton to wish their friend happy birthday. And for like $40, Perez Hilton sent a message to that person, like wishing him happy birthday.
I think our fans need to get together and have make it work that Olivia Munn wishes me happy birthday next year.
That would be pretty awesome. Okay, so what is do you like going to weddings, Jay?
Nobody likes going to weddings.
What is the one palatable part of a wedding? What part of a wedding, the one part of a wedding that's actually fun?
The reception.
Is it the reception? What part of the reception?
The getting drunk part?
Oh, yeah, that's true. That too. But the cocktail hour, where you're eating small little things and drinking, that's the best part of a wedding.
Oh, yeah. Nobody likes the actual meal. Everyone's always full by the meal. Every wedding I've ever been to, the cocktails are usually better than the actual meal anyway.
Yeah, the cocktails are better. You know you're gonna get a shit meal, so you're like filling up at the cocktail hour anyway. Everyone eats like 3 dinners at the cocktail hour because the food is good. It's the most fun part, right?
Yeah.
So the cocktail hour restaurant, you go to a restaurant and the entire restaurant, like your time that you stay for an hour or something like that, and you have a cocktail hour. You walk around. There's all these little like stations where you can get stuff. And then there's people walking around with trays, and you can take food off the trays and eat it. Just like a cocktail hour.
So
it's like the restaurant is a wedding.
So it's like a big open room, and you just walk around and you mingle.
Yeah, you walk around, you mingle. It's like you pay pay you like $50. It's like an all you can eat kind of thing. You pay all you can drink like bracelet. Like you pay $50. You walk in, you get to stay for an hour, or an hour and a half, whatever it is. And people are walking out with trays of food. You eat the trays of food. You have some drinks. You walk around. You mingle. They have little tables where you can like sit down with people. But that's the restaurant. You just basically enter. You're like, hey, I want to eat at this wedding cocktail reception. You don't have to get dressed up either. Just a regular. It's just the concept of being at a place where people are walking out with trays of like appetizers, and you get to like go to little stations.
I could see that actually catching on in the singles scene.
Yeah. And even like forget like it was single scene, yes, it'd be great for singles. But even let's say you're with your girlfriend, you want to go on a date. This way, you get to try a lot of cool appetizers, have some drinks. You can stand up and walk around, or you sit at a little table. It's cool for being with friends.
I could see that working in cities. I don't think that's like a country thing, but I think in Manhattan something like that would do really well.
Yeah, I don't know I don't know what works in the country, but yeah, I feel like in the Manhattan it would be like a cool idea for a restaurant, especially because you can do like a lot of really cool little appetizers, and like also when people eat little appetizers, everyone always thinks like these have no calories.
Yeah.
Everyone's willing to like whatever. It's a little small, and like so people are willing to consume more and have a better time.
I like it.
Yeah, it's also like even when you eat at a restaurant, like sometimes a lot of times the appetizers are the most fun part of the eating.
Yeah.
You get a couple apps, get some alcohol. So that idea. If anyone has the money to back me, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna make this work. If you just so far, what is a better idea? You're journalist for hire to argue on Facebook. It's not just Facebook, also any internet arguing, versus my cocktail hour.
I feel like mine would be much easier to implement.
Oh, because you know how to code?
I don't think you'd even. Well, I think you could find somebody to do that really cheap, because it's not like you need to. It's a fairly simple setup.
You've seen the site Fiverr, right?
Yeah.
So you need something that kind of equivalent, something where people can post, or I don't know. Actually, somehow you can post like I'm a reporter. You can hire me for this argument. I guess it's either one. I guess both. I mean, mine's probably pretty expensive to set up because it's a restaurant.
Well, that and when you do it, you have one restaurant.
Yeah, you have to really spend a lot of money to run a restaurant. Your idea is definitely cheaper to do.
Well, like with your idea, you would probably start with one to see if it works.
To get mine started, you'd need like $500,000 at least, maybe $1 million to like do it right. If you had $100,000, you could do your idea probably pretty easily.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your next idea, Jay?
So this is for a fake news filter, but see, this is one of those like.
I almost have the same idea. Go on.
This is one of those like I would have no idea how to do it, and I don't even think it's possible, because this would go for like memes and like photos where they have like graphics that are false, and so I want something that would be able to be like, this picture has fake statistics on it, and then it just filters it.
Yeah, this is not. I was doing something a little different.
Okay.
I had an idea very similar. I think your idea is pretty hard to do. The idea I had similar.
I don't think that's even possible, but it would be helpful.
You know how you see annoying posts? Let's say you see like all your friends have kids and they're posting pictures of their kids, and you don't want to see that, right? Mm-hmm. And you could always hit ignore Mark. You can ignore Mark's post for like 30 days, right?
Yeah.
You can do that, but like it's still like you might want to see some things from me, but you don't want to see my pictures of my kids, right?
Yeah.
So my idea combines that concept with what you like and dislike, kind of like Pandora with the likes and dislikes. You have an internal Facebook feed, like or dislike. And then anytime you hit dislike, you'll get less baby pictures from everyone. If you hit like to my arguments about Bernie Sanders, you'll get more Bernie Sanders arguments from everyone.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. That's kind of like what Facebook is doing, but adding the dislike feature. They do that with likes. Like if you like a baby picture, you're fucked. Like you're seeing baby pictures forever. But this one shows less with dislikes, which is what they should have been doing all along.
Mine's also internal. So let's say you're like there's some chicks on like some girl you went to school with who you like seeing pictures of, because that's kind of weird, but let's say you do. Mm-hmm. Or you're just like you want to see you're in high school, you want to see a picture of the cute girls and what they post. You could internally hit like. But they have no idea you're hitting like and you're like stalking their profiles.
Oh, I like that even better.
So this way you get the news feed of their like pictures of them like in hot outfits they're sharing with each other. You get that without them knowing that you're getting that.
That would work well in the summer when people are posting bikini pics. Exactly.
You don't have to hit like in their bikini picture and look like your girlfriend doesn't have to see that and go like, "Hey Jay, I see I see you're the only like in Allison's swimsuit picture, huh?
I know it's.
I just thought she looks. God damn it, Facebook. This way, you hit it internally, and your girlfriend has no idea you hit like on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm down with that. I like that idea.
Yeah, I don't know how to implement this, but I think this internal like dislike Pandora type feature would be awesome. Our ideas, by the way, have gotten a lot better.
Yeah. We started off a little slow, but I think we've picked up steam.
My rest of my ideas are terrible. Go on.
Okay, so the new trend in the city is tiny, tiny things. Like muffins, cupcakes by Melissa. Have you seen those?
Yeah, I've had those. Like the thing with also, I've got to say, a cupcake, you only want to have a little bit of cupcake. The rest, no one wants to eat a full cupcake. Not because it's bad for you, because it's just not that good enough to eat the whole cupcake. You want the taste, but that's it. Like Baked by Melissa kind of nails it with that, even though they're absurdly expensive for what they are.
I think it's the exact opposite. I don't like the Baked by Melissa. You get one tiny little bite. It's barely even a bite. I mean, those things are real tiny, and it's like what, $2 a bite?
Yeah, no, I'm saying they're absurdly. It's basically they took $1 cupcake and divided it up to 18 cupcakes from one cupcake. Yeah, it's absurdly expensive for what it is. But I feel like just taste wise, I enjoy the size of them is about as much of a cupcake I normally enjoy.
Yeah, I think I'm just.
But yeah, go on.
Specifically them, because like, I don't even think their cupcakes are that good. I'm like, you're charging $2 for a bite, and your cupcake isn't even that good.
I don't think cupcakes are that good in general. But go on.
So there's a couple other food items that are they sell tiny versions of. Like cookies is the new thing. Tiny.
Yeah. They M&Ms.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The
They're
only
small.
good thing about the M&M minis is that the case it comes in is the exact size of a quarter. So I use that for change for the laundry.
Okay. I didn't actually know there were M&M minis. I was just making a joke about M&Ms being small, but okay.
Oh yeah, no, they're like dots. They're like tiny little dots. So I'm thinking I want to get in on the tiny food business.
Okay.
And I was thinking tiny pizzas, like maybe even in the rolled into a ball, and then you put some like foo topping on it, so you can charge like $12 for it, like a truffle or some shit like that, like kale, whatever the stupid hipsters are eating. And,
some shit like that, stupid hipster eating. Brought to you by Jay. There was an on Shark Tank. They had someone. It was bagel balls.
Yes, I've seen bagel balls. They have it at Starbucks.
Yeah, they sound kind of good actually. So instead of basically being cream cheese in the middle, you're talking about having tomato sauce and cheese on the middle.
Yeah,
with sometimes mushrooms or like some kind of like thing.
Yeah, whatever will make it 10 times.
And they're hot basically. They're instead of served warm, not cold, right?
Exactly. Like by me, they opened up this cookie place, and they only have 4 cookies, and they're $4 a pop. And
$4 cookies?
Yeah.
In Astoria, Queens?
Yeah.
Holy shit! What's the big deal with the cookies?
I mean, those are actually big, and like there's usually something in the middle, and like they're good, but like still a $4 cookie.
You're just complaining about a totally different product now. What if we're talking about like things that are small? They're like they sell big cookies there, and they're not good either.
Well, I mean, it's a cookie. Like it's not like
it's an outrageously priced cookie. Yeah, I understand that. But like, okay,
okay. Basically, my idea is to get in on the outrageously priced food market.
Well, it's like you go to like a place that sells fudge, and they're like, that piece of fudge is $6. Come on, dude! That entire thing, the entire loaf of fudge you made cost like $1.
Yeah, it's sugar and cocoa. Like
yeah. I actually kind of like I wish your idea, instead of the incredibly, I like the pizza ball idea. Is that done anywhere?
Not that I know. I mean, I'm sure somebody has a pizza ball, but I don't think anybody like they're the pizza ball store.
I feel like this is something that's pizza balls recipes.
I'm sure people have made it, but I don't think anybody's tried to specialize in it and make gourmet,
like high-end
gourmet versions of that.
Because it sounds kind of like it's almost like a garlic knots, but now you have sauce and like you're doing like specialty.
And you could easily sucker people into paying like $6 for a pop for those things.
I mean, it's not like cream cheese ball like bagels are a new like that wasn't like a really great idea, but
No,
people probably
they're at
made it before.
Starbucks, and those are, I think they were like $4 or $5, and they're like 2 bites.
I like your idea. I would go to your hot pizza ball store.
All right.
Okay, my next idea. Um,
It's
so
like 2 weeks from now, all these ideas are going to be out on the net, and we're just going to get fucked.
this is actually I want to go to my real idea in a second, but I was hoping you and Brian would be on the show, and then I would sell a tow hair grooming kit. And I wanted to do a steamer for your shirt in the bathroom while you're taking a shit, because you know how you take off your shirt when you're in the bathroom. Or
Right now,
Brian.
Bri does that.
Yeah, Brian. Yeah. Well, that was Brian's supposed to be on the show. That's what the whatever. Okay, here's my.
Bri, who is mysteriously not on the show for reasons undisclosed to us.
He doesn't like. They were like, we're giving away spoons here at the casino. I'm in.
That's
Sorry, Jay.
definitely what it is.
You think his gambling habit is so much worse than we realize?
I think so.
I
I mean, if he's getting comped like when you asked last week, and they're like, "Yeah, I could bring as many people as I want, and I could stay wherever I want," and they're like, "Yeah, you have to spend a lot of money to get to that."
Why
point.
is your picture on the casino? So my next idea is witness protection service for people that just want to change their lives. Like in Breaking Bad, where Walt gets put into basically the guy takes him and gives him a new life.
Yeah.
So you give all your money to this company, and they give you a new life. You're like, fuck it, something that goes wrong in your life, like your girlfriend catches you cheating, and you just go, I'm in. And they just snag you from the street, and suddenly you're in Iowa working at Dunkin' Donuts. You have a whole new life set up. You have a backstory and everything.
I mean, I like it. I feel like it's a very illegal endeavor.
Why is it illegal? You're choosing to be in witness protection. They will protect your identity. They will put you in a whole new life they'll set up for you.
I mean, if you get the government in on it, but I don't think they.
You could legally change your name. They'll help you legally change your name. Everyone's allowed to legally change. You could go to the court tomorrow and say, I want my name to be Ballsack. As soon as you can prove you're insane, they'll have to legally change your name to Ballsack.
Right, but there's a public record of that name change, though, isn't there?
Yeah. I mean, you still have a social security. I mean, it's not impossible for people to track you down, but it's going to be pretty hard.
Yeah, I feel like your idea only works if you're just a ghost.
And you know what? Who cares if the government can track you? Let's just say people go into witness protection all the time and you can't find them. They ghost you from society. You're like, fuck it, I hate this job. And you don't even need a big reason. You're like, I just hate this job. I failed another CPA. God damn it. And you click click the button, click your app and go, I'm in. And then 2 hours later, they just you're going to the bathroom at work. They grab you, throw you into a truck, and suddenly you're living in New Mexico.
I like the idea, but I don't think logistically it'll work.
Wouldn't it also be people would do it you'd be like, 2 years I lived in New Mexico, then 2 years I worked in a bar in Costa Rica. This is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, I mean,
You have a whole new identity. You don't have to go with where'd you grow up? According to my backstory, I was raised as a orphan in Jamaica.
do you know how many people would just get their wives pregnant and then just ghost?
Yeah, bitch ain't getting an Almoy from me. I mean, people were doing this. This would be too popular for service.
Yeah,
I would have to trade homes with everyone. It would be like Airbnb, except for I'm trading people's lives.
Registered voters in America go down to 5 people. Everyone changed their identity.
The dude that torched California is suddenly living in your apartment with your black mold, and you're in jail in California for starting the fire.
I think this was a good bit. I liked it.
Do you have any more ideas, or?
That was 5. I think you already did 6.
Oh, hang on. Did I miss anything? Oh, and then my one other idea.
You're really bad at counting.
Oh, shut up. This is my idea that I get when I gave Jay the idea to do this thing. Fruit Uber. It's like Uber, Except when you go on your phone, you can find any people within 10 minutes of you that are carrying fruit, and at all times you can get fruit.
No vegetables.
You're like, I want fruit. I'm going to include tomatoes and cucumbers because they're goddamn fruit. You click on. I need an apple stat, and you see in your phone someone that's walking by you that has an apple and just like shoves it in your hands. Fruit. Yeah, and you like people earn money by carrying fruit around with them all day. Just like those like fruit stands, now you have walking fruit stands.
Creating jobs. I like it.
Creating jobs. So which ideas were the best, Jay?
I think it was clear which ones were the best.
Well, which I'm going to vote your best idea, Jay. I mean, this is not even close. Your news, your hot, your
Auto political arguer, 1000.
yeah. I don't think you want to keep it. I don't want you. I think you need to. You can't just say political.
That's
because
true.
you want to get LeBron James versus Michael Jordan, Yankees versus Red Sox. You want to get every goddamn stupid argument people make on Twitter.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure you cover Twitter, Instagram, anywhere people argue. Infowars, you can argue. Is Obama a member of ISIS or a member of Al Qaeda? We can argue here. We both have like, good arguments for this. So, professional news arguer, professional journalist arguer. You can work on your name, but that was your best idea. Which is my idea's best, Jay?
Can you give me a quick recap?
Are you not taking notes, Jay?
No, I also drink during these shows, so
you should drink because we're doing the show. We have the cure for itching, which you do not seem to love.
No.
We have Fruit Uber, which I just mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
We have curated Facebook feeds where you can hit internally like or dislike and have a Pandora-like spread of news feed.
Mm-hmm.
Cocktail Hour Restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Toe hair grooming kit, but that was not a real idea. Loser Wingman and Witness Protection Service.
I'm gonna go with Cocktail Hour Restaurant.
Okay.
I feel like it's the most feasible, and I think it could actually catch on.
You don't think I could hire Dog the Bounty Hunter to like swipe people off the streets and like give them new lives?
I think you had a lot of good but highly impossible ideas.
Yesterday I was working a dead-end job in the supermarket at Whole Foods, and my life was a mess. And then today, I am a freedom fighter in Afghanistan. Let's go to Facebook questions.
Let's go to emails first.
Oh, God, we have emails. Jay, goddamn.
thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com. On Twitter, we're brinkofsanity3. I think we're the Brink of Sanity on Instagram. You can tell we post on there a lot. And the Brink of Sanity at Patreon. So if you want to help support the show, you can go to patreon.com/thebrinkofsanity. Support us for as low as $1 a month. Help us get to our goal of $6 a month. We're almost there.
If we get $6 a month, can we buy LOL dolls?
It does cost about $20. No, actually, it costs about $35 a month to keep the show going. So,
well, I want to buy. My daughter really likes these things called LOL dolls. I'm not even sure what they are, but she's been asking for them. Okay, go on.
If you count Skype, it's $40. So yeah, we're hemorrhaging money on this show. And
holy shit, Jay.
brinkofsanityshow.com is the website.
Okay.
Email Lorenzo. Hey guys, sorry for the lack of emails last show. I am punishing myself by listening to Drake albums all day. Well, that is the ultimate punishment.
That is pretty bad.
Really loved the ass washing chat last episode. There's nothing I love more than washing my ass at the end of a shitty day. By that, this is our show.
I forgot
I had forgot about that too, but that was like a quarter of the show.
Oh shit! Oh my god, we talked about that for so long, and it was a really legitimate discussion.
Can't imagine why we have so few listeners. By that, I mean those days where you take a dump and wipe 100 times and still can't get it clean. So complete the sentence. There's nothing I love doing more than blank.
There's nothing I love more than taking. Are we doing with the like? Are we going with this theme, taking a huge dump in the morning and just feeling light, like light on your feet. That's a great way to start the day, right?
I don't like pooping.
The fuck is wrong with you?
I hate
You
it.
poop at least once a day, right?
Usually, yeah. And I hate
Don't
it.
you like when you take? I mean, I don't want to take the show to this, but you take like a huge one, and you're like, you feel like almost like light on your feet after.
I just don't like it. I feel like maybe if I had a bidet, I'd feel better.
Let's not do this. Let's not do this, Jay. What else do you like? This show's been so good, Jay. What else do you? What else do you like?
Cumming's pretty great.
Yeah. You're a guy. Every other fucking guy. Like, what else do you like, Jay?
Listening to music. I know it's lame, but that's probably the thing I like doing the most.
Okay. I like spending quality time with my kids. Whose answer is better, Jay?
Fag. Hey guys. Oh, by the way, Lorenzo, you don't feel like you have to apologize for not emailing. You're the MVP of emailers. You've earned a week or two hiatus if you feel like not emailing us.
That means 50 of the weeks you have to send something in, but those 2 weeks you're off. It's like a vacation policy, Lorenzo.
To make up for it, I think you sent like 3 emails too. Hey guys, do you think the government will ever mass produce a bunch of robot 9-year-old boys to help tackle the problem of pedophilia? I love Lorenzo's emails.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Whose work is more meaningful among scientists? The scientist that's working on translating what Rex the dog is saying, or the scientist that's trying to stop pedophiles by giving them robot 9-year-olds? I feel like the scientist that's working on the 9-year-old robot is saving lives.
I also do need to chastise you, Lorenzo, because we almost made an entire episode without pedophilia getting brought up.
Mark's favorite topic.
Mark was so well behaved, and then you would just go ruin it. If so, do you think they will just let the pedos have a free-for-all and have their way with the robots? Or will they booby-trap the robots? Example, once the pedo puts his dick in the robot ass, a trap door slams shut, cutting off the pedo's dick, but then you essentially have a bunch of dick-collecting robots, so you need a place to dispose of all the dicks. Where does it end? Well, I mean, then you need like a dick depository.
Well, let's say they make the robot 8-year-old boys or 7-year-old boys, whatever, and the pedophiles are like just fucking the shit out of them. Are people going to protest that? Are people like, this is disgusting, this is against God? It's a piece of metal, asshole, and he's not raping a real boy.
Well,
yeah,
let's
but
see
it resembles it.
If James Gunn lost his job for making a Twitter joke, I'm pretty sure fucking an actual boy robot would not go over well. Thank you.
How'd you? That is yeah. What if what if that's like you're like, this is how I control my habit? Like some people wear patches to deal with their smoking habit. This guy, they have a 6-year-old boy robot that they fuck. That's just the person's like, I want to be a good citizen, so I paid top dollar for the best 6-year-old boy robot I can find. I can do an hour on pedophiles.
Okay. The last email involves Bry, so we'll wait for Bry to be on.
Well, what is it?
I just said it involves Bry.
So just read the email.
He wants to challenge Bry to a pop culture battle.
Why are you reading? Bry's on the show. Why are you reading this?
I hate you so much.
Facebook. You ready?
Yeah.
John writes, why only one show a week? I think we listeners deserve more. Jay?
Yeah, we will have more Brink as soon as I'm done with these tests, and I'm getting close.
We're almost there, guys. Rob writes, mostly for Mark, what would you do if your child grows up listening to rap and gets a face tattoo to mimic his favorite rapper, since now it seems to be a requirement for all of them to have them? Do a lot of rappers, I mean, I know Mike Tyson had the face tattoo. Are there other rappers that have face tattoos?
Oh, you're not a Tekashi fan?
No. How do you spell this?
Tekashi. They all look like Tekashi.
Tekashi. E.
Tekashi.
Tekashi 69.
Yeah. That's what all the new rappers look like.
What the fuck?
I can't believe you're not a fan.
How's the music?
Are you? It's literally the worst thing I've ever heard.
So what would you rather listen to, Tekashi or Drake?
Drake. I don't even have to think about it. It's that bad.
This is real. Like, these pictures aren't like a joke, right?
No.
Like, he takes them off after.
No,
like,
that's his face.
I mean,
There's also Lil Pump.
There's another one?
Oh, there's dozens of them. This is like the new
Little what?
Lil Pump. I can't believe you don't know these people. Sometimes I feel like I'm like 10 years younger than you.
Well, the only worlds I know are the worlds of an almost 40-year-old man and the world of a 4-year-old girl and a 7-year-old boy. Like, I know like the kids world and like adult world. I don't
find
know
it weird that I like knew these off the top of my head too.
Yeah, like, how do you have the time to listen to this shit?
I don't listen to it.
We follow very different things. Like, last show I mentioned about the gig economy, which I've read like millions of so many articles about. You're like, what are you talking about? And you're like, Little Pump. I've never heard of Little Pump.
By the way, the Gucci Gang song is maybe the worst song I've ever heard in my life.
You don't know how to play. You can't play shit on this show.
No, you could play it, and then we could hear your reaction while you're listening to it.
I'll do it on my phone so we can hear it. It's called the Gucci Gang.
Yeah, the Lil Pump Gucci Gang.
Oh my god.
The lyrics are Gucci Gang. Well, you know what? We'll let you hear it first before I spoil the lyrics on there.
Okay, let me look this up. Little Gang.
Lil Pump.
Sorry, Little Pump.
Just put that into Google or Gucci Gang song.
I found it. It
has. By the way.
Yeah.
This video on YouTube, 767 million views.
Oh my god, that wasn't thousands. Holy shit. I assumed that was thousands. Okay, I got it loud.
767 million.
Okay, I'm playing this.
I can hear it a little bit.
How's it? Can you hear it?
Yeah. That's it. That's the whole song. Just repeat that 5 times.
So, while I'm not paying attention, what's that movie where the world becomes stupider and the professional wrestler is the president?
Idiocracy.
You're actually experiencing the actual idiocracy like happening, and I'm just kind of missing it.
It's called mumble rap or trap rap, and there's dozens of these guys, and they all have.
How do you know about this? And I understand that had 727 million views, so clearly I'm missing something because everyone on the planet watched it. That is 700 million views. There were 6 billion people on the Earth, so like 12% of the entire world's population has watched this video, and I haven't.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Holy! How do you know about this?
And Tekashi has 256 million.
How do you find out about this shit, Jay? I had no idea. The gig economy. I had read thousands of I have so many articles about this. It was like it's something that like I couldn't even fathom. You guys had not heard of this term, gig economy, versus Little Pump.
I can't fathom you not have heard of a video that has 767 million views.
Yeah, how did you hear of this, Jay? You're not turning on the radio being like, mumble rap station.
I don't know how I even got down this wormhole. I think I was trying to... I heard a mumble rap song somewhere. I think it was coming out of somebody's car. So I went to Google mumble rap is like actually a thing, and I just got into this wormhole of Gucci gangs and Tekashis, and like I became more and more intrigued because it's so popular and so shitty. Like I don't think something this shitty has ever been this popular.
Jay, I'm not normally going to do this, but I wouldn't normally do this. But I'm going to give you one of my kids, so your time is used up with something. You need something else like to do because you're finding mumble rap. You should raise a kid instead.
Anyway,
Oh.
yeah. So mumble rap's really bad.
Anyway, Rob. So if my kid becomes a mumble rapper, I'm going to do a late term abortion. That's what's going to happen.
Maybe in your free time you should check out a Tekashi song because they might even be worse than the Gucci Gang song.
Why not? While we're here on this terrible subject, let me find Tekashi.
Gummo is his big hit.
Tekashi 69, right?
Yeah.
His big hit's called what?
Gummo.
I found it.
That
I
one
mean,
is-
I don't spend enough time on clearly enough time.
It's so bad.
When does the song start?
You're like halfway through the song.
What the fuck?
So, oh no, this is actually how I found out about Tekashi. He went to some store. He got into this was all on I think Channel 4. AC Slater has some like entertainment show.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So
Mario Lopez is on like Entertainment Tonight or something.
yeah. So Entertainment Tonight. So for some reason that was on while I was eating dinner, and I was too lazy to change.
What do you mean? For some reason it was on. You chose to watch AC Slater. That was like you're like I want to watch AC. Don't pretend like your TV just turns on channels for you.
Well, I mean, I might live with other people who watch that.
Okay, fine. You're fair enough. You could just say my girlfriend had it on. You don't have to say it some reason was on.
Okay, she had it on.
Okay, fine.
So we're watching, and they had a thing on how Tekashi got into a feud with one of the other mumble rappers, and so he bought the other rapper's girlfriend like a $70,000 jacket.
You see, I don't have the time. Like, so what? I guess a lot of times if I'm eating, I'm reading something like on my phone or like reading a magazine, just reading something. I'm not doing as much stuff eating and watching.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I don't. We already have ants in my house, so I don't like to eat on the couch. I just stay in the kitchen. And also a lot of times, like,
Are you just like standing up eating at the kitchen counter?
no, we have a like bar stools.
Just shoveling those beans into your mouth?
It's also really like I'm just trying to get my kids to sleep so I can eat, and like I have less time to watch TV at home. So when I am watching, I'm just picking a show I like to watch, as opposed to like watching Entertainment Tonight or something like that crap.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I wouldn't have watched that if it was my turn.
Yeah. So maybe it's more that I need to not have kids and I need to like have a wife that watches Entertainment Tonight. That's why I would know about this stuff.
Anyway, this guy's going to be so broke in like 2 years.
How is it not like 2 days?
How is he a millionaire? I don't know.
Holy shit. One of our top 5 ideas should have been mumble rap and get a face tattoo. You could have been like, I'm gonna like get some beats and go guns, guns, and then like you're like, oh, that's a fucking moronic idea. Oh yeah, I just went gold, motherfucker.
Well, you know the who's that bitch on the airplane who started a fight and she said, "Catch me outside." You heard that story? Like this white
No,
trash.
I don't.
girl?
Apparently, I don't hear anything. Apparently, I don't know what's going on in the world. Like, I need you to fill me in. Each day, Jay should have curated news that I would never know about.
There was this white trash bitch who started a fight on an airplane,
Yeah.
and it went viral. And so she decided she was going to start her own female mumble rap album.
Oh my god.
And it went like either gold or platinum, and she's like the #1 female rap artist right now. Which shows how easy it is.
Hang on. Why are the drones in Yemen shooting terrorists when they could be here shooting mumble rappers?
Which shows how easy it is to make one of those albums, because she has no musical background at all and now has the #1 album.
Why can't we make one? Mumble rap brought to you by Brink. Why the fuck are you taking the CPA, Jay? We should be working on mumble rap.
By the time we did it, the fad would be over and we just embarrass ourselves.
Oh my god. It would be the one mumble rap song that doesn't go platinum.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Andrew writes, how much does this annoy you? And it's pictures of Tiger Woods, like 2002, people watching Tiger Woods at a tee off, and it's just people standing there and watching. And then 2018, everyone's watching Tiger Woods with their phone up, taking a picture of it.
I had a mini anxiety attack just looking at that picture.
Yeah. You know what? Like, they should do an announcement like, hey, during this, please keep your phones in your pocket because you even will hate yourself when you realize you're doing this.
I know. Nobody likes your blurry picture.
Liam
Nobody's
writes.
impressed. Nobody thinks you're cool.
We covered this last show, though.
I know,
Liam,
but it's
Liam
still
writes.
happening.
Okay,
Obviously,
Liam writes.
people didn't listen to us.
Liam writes. Mark Madura, which I guess is me. What are the typical expenses for your house when compared to a condominium? I know this question gets brought up, but what's better 2018 with your experience in house ownership, buying or renting? So, as opposed to owning, say, an apartment or condo with like, you have to deal with the property. So basically, maintenance of your. I know you don't like lawns, Jay, but you still have to maintain your lawn. You have to maintain the outside of your property, and anything that goes wrong there, you have to maintain. If you have a roof issue, anything going on externally, you're in charge of your house. You're in charge of everything for your house. You call a plumber, you're paying for any issue with your house, you're covering it. Whereas a condo might have like a fix-it guy or something, and they have like the condo might cover the outside anything upkeep outside of your place, your common areas.
Okay.
Renting makes sense if you're renting if you're going to live in a place for 4 or 5 years. Renting makes a lot more sense than buying. Buying is only if you're going to be there for like at least 5 years, more like 10 years.
All right, heard it here first, folks.
You disagree, Jay? I know. We've covered this topic a lot.
I've been in my apartment for 10 years. It's time to go.
You should have bought your apartment, Jay. You could have owned that mold instead of having to give it back. Liam writes, what purchases got Jason into credit card debt, and what brand was it? Chase, Discover, Amex, Citibank. What did he realize about credit cards that he did not know before? By the way, Citibank is not a brand of credit cards. I mean, they're all either Visa or MasterCard or Amex. Those are the brand, or Discover. Chase and Citibank are not really brands.
So,
whatever. Okay, go on, Jay.
Well, I went away to college, and I had a work-study job for $5 an hour for 25 hours a week.
So that's $125?
Yeah, which was my only income for 4 years.
Yeah.
So that basically covered rent, and I charged every single other aspect of my life for 4 years.
So basically, credit card debt from college is what basically you're still paying off.
Yeah, I bought a beer at a bar freshman year of college, and it probably ended up costing me about $385.
Liam writes, went on a Tinder date last Saturday with a 28-year-old recent NYU grad. She is 28-year-old recent grad also sounds kind of old. She is $47,000 in debt for a fine arts degree. Why would she get a degree you can get at CUNY for half the price? Why does Mark want to lose money making his kids go to a fancy Ivy League school when it's the field that matters, not the degree? Although I'm starting to find out it's money management and discipline that matters. My best friend is a dentist making around $267K a year, yet is broke most of the time with paying his wife alimony and have 2 child support payments.
Oh, I also want to add to his last question that it was Bank of America. And,
oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
And so what they did is they would say, "Oh, you have a $5,000 balance," and I get up to $4,500, and they'd be like, "You have 7,000." I get up to 7,400, and they'd be like, "Now you have 10,000." And
You're a good risk, Jay.
and at some point, they said, "Oh, your balance is too high. We're tripling your APR," and then I was just fucked for like the next 15 years
That's pretty fucked up.
because then I could only afford the minimum payments because the interest went up so much, and I had one late payment, and like 5 years later, I did a balance transfer, and then they reported the late payment, like as like sour grapes for like transferring the balance away.
I mean, those companies are really, really evil.
Yeah, that was like such a bitch move. It's like they didn't report it the whole time it was late, but because I did a balance transfer, like, "Ooh, I'm mad at you now."
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
So Bank of America sucks.
Yeah, I think that most of these banks suck. So what do you think about this? So first off, do you think what matters more, the brand school you go to or the actual degree you get? Like, does he make a point? Would you better off going to CUNY to get your fine arts degree versus NYU?
Absolutely. When I was getting my MBA in accounting, I went to Baruch, and our company reimburses up to 15 grand. And so my coworker went to NYU, and he took 2 classes and maxed out his 15 grand, and I took 7 classes within that 15 grand.
Does your coworker that went to NYU have a better job now?
He does, but I mean,
are you still at your current job?
Yeah, but I decided to try and get my CPA instead of looking for a job. He instantly, as soon as he got his degree, he said, "I'm going to start applying to jobs." I can start applying to jobs right now.
He got a degree, and he used that degree to get a better job, and you were like, "Fuck that."
2 weeks. 2 weeks. I'll be.
Yeah. So, but I agree with him. Also, I do agree. You're better off. The actual degree you get is much more important than what school you go to.
Well, when I'm contacting recruiters now, I say I have a master's in accounting, and they're like, "Oh, great!" Not one of them had said which school. Not one.
I 100% agree with you. I think the actual degree you get, like what you're getting, like a liberal arts degree from like NYU versus like an engineering degree from, I don't know, whatever school. Like the engineering degree is more important. Like actually being able to do stuff is much more important.
Yeah.
I would agree though. If my kids can get like Harvard, you just foot the bill because somehow that'll work out with connections in life.
Yeah, I mean, well, the Ivy League schools have this whole networking thing where you just, you apply to a job and you say I went to Yale, and somebody who went to Yale is there, and they'll get you in. But those are rare. Like,
but I also agree with this whole like lifestyle creep thing, where the guy's making $267, but like if he has his divorce and has to support child support, then he's going to still be broke, basically.
Yeah.
Liam writes, do you guys know any man or friend who got pounded hard with child support payments or alimony? When he said pounded hard, I didn't really know where the question was going, and I'm glad it was just child.
You never know with our listeners.
Yes. I know a friend who just told me he's going to get divorced, and so he might be hit with alimony. He's worried about that. And my sister's divorced, but her husband did not get hit very. Somehow he had better lawyers, so he did not get hit with very much payments at all. Very little money. I don't know. Do you?
Yeah, I have a friend who just had his wife decide to make up stories and say he did a bunch of horrible stuff, and he got kicked out of his own house. Not allowed to go back into it. Not allowed to get his stuff. So he was basically homeless.
Do they have kids?
They have 2 kids. He's not allowed to see the kids.
Holy shit.
And if he's found guilty, he'll lose his job because he has a government job.
Oh, God.
He and I know the guy.
She accused him of, like, assaulting her?
Physically and mentally. And I know this. I've known this guy for 25 years. He didn't do any of this stuff. And every time a court date's about to come, she makes up more stuff, so it gets suspended so they can, go over the new stuff.
Oh, God.
And so it's been like 9 months.
That sounds really awful. That sounds like hell.
I feel so bad.
So don't you think he would love to just click on an app and go into witness protection?
Yes and no.
He's not gonna see his kids anyway. I mean, obviously, I guess he loves his kids, but when
that's the thing. He's
now living in Arizona, and we'll give him new kids as part of the service.
Trust us, you'll like the new ones better.
The new kids won't be whiny. Rosero writes, Mark said his restaurant bill came to $500 last episode. Can I ask what? I went to a Japanese restaurant the other day and had Japanese Kobe beef, the best beef in the world, $87 a plate each, and just paid $230 with tip. Was that restaurant Mark went to owned by the Clinton Foundation by any chance? The restaurant I'm talking about is called Blue Stone Barn at Blue Hill. It is they have this, it's like a farm to table restaurant where they have this really, really expensive tasting menu. It's like no other meal I've ever had, and it was insanely expensive. And it's not like I'm going there every day. I just mentioned one time I went there, but it's really good. Like, it's worth trying if you have $500 to spare. It's the waste on a meal.
Sounds like some of our listeners are doing pretty well for themselves.
All the listeners. I mean, why don't you ask for a job on the show, Jay? Maybe you should submit your resume to there are some of our listeners here.
Yeah, why aren't these guys giving us advice? It sounds like they're asking us for advice. It sounds like we need their advice.
Rosario, can you hire Jay and I and pay us a salary, and we'll just do shows? Rosario, we could do shows for you every day if you just pay us. Pay us what we're making now. We'd be very happy to do shows for you 5 days a week.
You realize if I wasn't studying for the CPA, it would be 3 times as much Brink.
If Rosario would pay you the exact salary you're getting now, and you have to spend 5 hours a day doing a show for Rosario, would you be okay?
No, because I'm taking the CPA because.
Okay, fine. Whatever you want to make with a $20,000 increase from what you're making now to do the podcast 5 days a week, 5 hours a day each day.
Jesus, that's a lot. No, I need more than $20,000. 5 hours a day, 5 days a week.
You would rather fucking be an accountant than do the show all day?
I mean, I'm working full time anyway, and then another 5 hours on top of that.
No, this is instead of your job.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you meant work a job and then
shit.
come home and do 5 hours of Brink. I'm like,
no. I meant you for a living now. You do the show. They pay you the salary you make at work plus whatever increase you expect to get with the CPA, $20,000 or $30,000. Like that around the difference, $30,000 difference.
Yeah, $30,000.
Okay, $30,000. They give you your salary plus $30,000, and all you do for a living now is make Brink shows for Rosario.
Heartbeat.
Yeah, I don't know how you were complaining about this, and I said 5 hours a day because just
yeah, I thought you meant work all day and then do 5 hours of Brink, and I'm like, I could barely do 2 hours every other week.
Let's say Rosario required you to do 3 hours of non-on-the-air prep time every day, and then do a 5-hour show. So 8 hours a day spending to Brink, and the next day you have to do 8 more hours of Brink, and then 8 more hours of Brink. A 40-hour week that's devoted to Brink, and you get the exact same salary you're getting plus $30,000, the raise you want basically. But instead of being a fucking accountant, you're forced to talk to me all day, which is probably worse.
I mean, 3 hours of prep time would probably have some actual good shows.
Holy shit, it would be a great show. Rosario, make this shit happen. Pay us both, and we will do the show professionally. You're killing it, Rosario, or some of our listeners. Please, make this happen for us.
I mean, if you like the show now, that's on 2 minutes of prep. If we had 3 hours?
Yeah, imagine how much prep. That top 5 list would have been so much better.
Yeah.
Rosario writes, with Alex Jones channels being taken away, who has the right to judge what can and should be heard by other people? I dislike Alex Jones, but what communist shit is it that no one forced anyone to listen to him? It's crazy how liberal like Marx are always the first ones to make excuses to infringe in people's rights and lifestyles.
I just want to say that Alex Jones banned all opposing views from his own website last year. So now he's complaining that Facebook did the same thing.
There is so on the one hand, also Facebook, Twitter, they're all private companies. They can censor speech however they want. The First Amendment does not cover this. On the other hand, there's a writer that writes Rolling Stone, the guy Matt Taibbi, who I really like, who has said, yeah, I understand not wanting Alex Jones, but these Facebook and all these things have become public forums. Even though there's no First Amendment protection, you're going down a slippery slope of what they can what they're going to allow and what they're not going to allow.
I agree with that. I just, it's the same guy who did the same exact thing on his own website, so I don't feel as bad.
I like your argument, Jay. He's also talking about crisis actors and stuff, so whatever. We can make a crisis actor exception and tell Alex Jones to go fuck himself. Rosario writes, How painful was it for Mark to realize Trump is actually a good president? Look at the stock market. My Vanguard account almost doubled since he had gotten elected. The economy is booming. By the way, Rosera and I both like using Vanguard. He has the same investments. Rosera's killing it. I think Trump's a terrible president. All I said was, I think I said in the last show, I think I said this in the show, if you're a fan of Trump, you really he's just attacking. Every 5 seconds he has a new idea to really put something forward, where Obama was like, I'm going to spend 2 years doing healthcare, and then I'm done for my 8 years.
Yeah, he did nothing.
I mean, he did so little in comparison to Trump. Trump, it feels like Trump's been president for 50 decades right now, whereas Obama, there was oh, I got a new idea. I'll take a couple years to implement it and make it as easy as possible for Trump to undo. Rosero writes, online banking like Discover and Charles Schwab. How into investing are our listeners?
We have a comedy show, and 3/4 of it is investing advice.
Remember we did that show? We were send us your investment questions. Mm-hmm. Apparently, they're still sending them. Rosero writes, online banking like Discover and Charles Schwab versus Chase and other brick and mortar one. What is the difference and which is better? I guess
honestly, at this point, Rosero, I think you know more than we do.
Not even close. By the way, they talked about the Robinhood app a couple shows ago, or maybe last show. I don't even know. And I looked and that's probably a better way to invest. I'm like a moron for not using it.
I'm convinced that Rosero knows more than us.
No, I'm
he's probably some a big time investor and just laughs his ass off at our stupid shitty advice.
Probably runs Citibank. I would argue the online ones have. I use do they have online bill pay? If they do, and if you can use ATMs, then what's the difference?
I don't know.
I have both. I have both online account, and I have a purely online account, and I have a purely and I have a one that you can go into the branch. But I guess the ability to go into a branch might be helpful sometimes. I don't know. If you want to get more, Rosero, Jason writes, guys, these have to be the same people, by the way. Jason writes, guys, I recently got money from an inheritance. I have about $4,000 to spend, and thinking about how do you decide whether he's going to write this under Jason or Rosero this week? What?
I know.
They're all the exact same question. Guys, I recently got money from inheritance. I have about $4,000 to spend, and thinking about putting it into a stock, specifically bank stock, HSBC, due to its 6% dividend yield payment. How does he even know about that? What is your opinion on investing in bank stocks? Are they too big to fail? Amazon is expensive, and Apple is at an all-time high. So what do you think, guys, will go up in value? My top ones, which I already invested most of my inheritance, are 10% into Facebook, 40% into NVIDIA. By the way, do you know what NVIDIA is, Jay?
Yeah. It's video cards. It's like AMD's competitor. I have AMD stock.
Apparently they're being used. So they're he says due to genius like Jason using their graphics chips. 10% into
a lot of people are using it to mine Bitcoin and stuff.
Yeah, apparently that's done a lot better than any Bitcoin stuff. 10% into Alibaba Group Holdings and 50%.
I put it into Alibaba too.
I didn't even know this. How's that doing?
Good. I mean, I had enough for one stock. But
one share,
but it went up $25 since I put it in.
Oh, I did one. I bought Apple back in the fall, around the same time I started investing in Bitcoin. Bitcoin's completely tanked. Apple, I got it 160. Now it's at 210.
Nice.
Yeah. The rest is in cash at the bank, losing value due to inflation, gaining 1% interest, which balances out with these dame bank fees. So Jay, should we just match this guy's portfolio?
Seriously?
Holy shit. 6% dividend yield sounds pretty good if I knew what that meant. Jason writes, guys, do you prefer to have $1.2 million house or a $1 million investment portfolio, which you will advise your kids to have? Which will you advise? Are you better off, I guess, buying $1 million house or having $1 million in the a portfolio?
You don't need $1 million house.
So you buy a $500,000 house and a $500,000 portfolio?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's kind of splitting the difference. You're still better off, I feel like, having the money like if you can have the paid off house and the portfolio, that makes more sense than having the mortgage in the portfolio.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. Eros writes, Dodge. Jay, how are you? So is that what you're figuring out how you're going to divide up your 1.2 million?
Yeah.
Eros writes, Dogecoin just got listed on the Robinhood app. It's about to go up. Bitcoin as well. It's called Robinhood app. Get with the technology, guys. Stop paying others to manage your money. Technology is beautiful. You either get with the times or fall way behind, like those people using AOL and paying for email. Eros, how much can we pay for you to manage our money? At some point, if Eros pitched you on managing your money, would you be like, okay, sounds good. He probably knows a lot.
I'd definitely listen.
Eros writes, this is almost done. Guys, I have an idea for. He wrote like a fucking book for a question. Guys, I have an idea for a YouTube channel. We should all save $5,000, then get the Robinhood app and invest it in a mix of stocks and crypto, and we document our journey, something along the lines. Then we make up that we meet someone from the future, a time traveler, for the Alex Jones fans. Blurred his face. You gotta use periods, okay? Blurt his face out and have him recommend obvious stocks and info that will be big in the future or too big to fail, like Google, Apple, and so on. The time traveler will be one of us and take his role superior, serious, giving information and saying stuff that is actually intelligent, like this guy, some YouTube channel he links to, who claims to be a time traveler and now has 900,000 subscriptions, making $17,000 a month on YouTube views revenue. 2 years ago, I subscribed to this guy's channel at 12,000 subs, and now he's at 900,000. All of stupid claims about time travel and blurring his face. Okay, I can't read the rest of this question. But basically, this guy claims to be a time traveler and apparently makes $17,000 a month from people who view his.
That is a healthy chunk of change.
Like, don't you read these things and be like, I'm looking at this guy now.
I mean, I stopped being surprised when that guy who filmed himself studying.
Noah claims to be a time traveler from the year 2030. We met with him in person, and he showed what he claims is a video from the future. I mean, this is fucking horrible. This is just a guy sitting by a lake with his face blurred in a red sweater.
So I guess
he's talking about time travel. He has 1.4 million views.
Jesus. All right, let's work on something.
Oh, holy shit. He's just talking about stuff from the...
All right, moving on.
Why the fuck do I work a regular job? This is like insane. Some guy mumble raps a face tattoo. Some woman complains on a plane and makes her own mumble rap and becomes rich. Some guy had just blurries his face with like the most basic of internet video technology.
There's the Asian guy who filmed himself studying and has 350,000 followers.
Holy shit. This is so goddamn depressing. Eris writes, most embarrassing moment in the last 2 years, mine was I farted on the subway N train to Manhattan. Then some lady made a scene that I stinked up, and she turned red and started gagging while others next to her made a face as they were taking the smell like champs with curdles. Such a drama queen, I got off on the next stop.
Jesus. Most embarrassing in the last 2 years. Literally the last 2 years is like, that's when I started studying for the CPA. So I haven't done that much embarrassing shit.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what I'd done. I don't really have anything good for this. Let's move on. Eros writes, Brink people. I see power outlets all over the NYC subway. Does it make sense to buy a crypto mining machine and just use the city power? One of the biggest issues with mining Bitcoin and other crypto is the electric cost and the bill. If people can plug the laptop where there, why can't I crypto mine and make money? So, can you sit in the NYC subway and mine crypto?
You probably can, but you're going to have to be sitting in the subway the whole time.
I mean, someone's going to stop you, I imagine.
Well, even if they don't, like, you have to sit there in the subway the whole time. The whole, when you crypto mine at home, you hook it up and walk away, right?
I don't know. How long does it take to mine crypto?
Well, you got to leave it there like all day, like 24 hours a day.
For like how many? Because like, I think you get 15 grand per coin you mine. So
Well, it's 6 now, but
okay, 6 grand. Jay, would you sit there for 24 hours for 6 grand?
I would, but I don't know if that would work.
What do you do for a living? I find I find unused power outlets in the subway and just sit there for 24 hours. I do it at least a couple times a week. I'm fucking rich, man, motherfucker. Rosera writes, how is taxes reported on crypto earnings? I have friends who have bought and sold crypto like 20 times. Why does Jason not do that? Keep either. And the other altcoins sell when high, buy when low. Please, what are fees associated with crypto? Please, what are the fees?
I mean,
Okay,
I was buying and selling, and I made a few $100s doing that, but then the market crashed, so now I have to wait for everything to get back to where it was before I start doing that again.
Well, also all you have to also report is your like overall gain or loss.
Right.
So if you sold 100 times and you come out like break even, you don't owe tax. You only owe tax if you made money.
Right, and I think you only owe it if you pull it out. Because
Right.
it's like stocks right now.
Yeah, but if you sell it, let's say you make $1,000, put that $1,000 back in the crypto market, you still have to pay on that $1,000.
That's stupid because it could go away like the next day.
Why don't you know this?
No, but like, what if December 31st it's worth 4,000, and then January 1st it's worth 3,000? You just pay taxes on something that isn't even there anymore.
It's just based on the sales you make, the money you make from this, all the positives you make from the sales and all the negatives. You put that together, and whatever you come out like, if you sold it all and made 50 grand, then put it back in the market and it went down to like 2 grand. If you haven't sold that, you don't get the losses. You only get the losses when you sell it off, and you still have to pay tax on those wins, basically, on all the money you made.
What if you just transfer between coins though?
Yeah, you have to pay. Like if you sold Ethereum and you bought a Dogecoin, you have to pay on all the Ethereum you sold.
That's stupid because it doesn't work that way with stocks.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
I'm positive. If I sold a bunch of IBM stock and bought a bunch of Apple stock, the money I made, the capital gains I made with the IBM stock, I'd still have to pay taxes on.
I think that's only if it hits your bank account. If you just do a stock-to-stock transfer, then
I am not taking the CPA, so maybe you know better. But I'm pretty sure.
I think if you sell it for cash and then buy something else, yes, you have to count the gain. But if you just do like a swap for
I can't swap IBM for Apple stock, but you can swap, I guess. What's it called?
Bitcoin for Ethereum or something.
Yeah, you can. So maybe the rules are different with that. That's a fair point. But I can't. If I want to trade Apple stock for IBM stock, I have to at some point convert it to cash and then do the other.
Yeah.
So you might be right about the. I have no idea. The crypto stuff's a little bit more confusing. Rosera writes, last question. And by the way, the show was really good until we got to these questions. It really went downhill. Now that I've lost all my energy. Rosera writes, last question. Today is Monday, August 13th, 2018. Disney stock is at $111.13. I'm buying $2,000 worth as we speak. Brink, let's see how much I make. You are welcome to follow my advice. Since Trump was elected, all my Vanguard accounts and investment portfolio has doubled. Trump is the best for the economy. Glad Mark sees that.
Okay.
Think that this stock's going to do well?
He seems to be on the money so far.
I mean, he seems to know what he's talking about more than we do. Let's see how Disney's done today. I will look this up.
I'm up 3 $360 on AMD.
But you sold too much of it. I'm looking at that. That's crazy how much it's gone up.
I know.
So why can I find this? Disney's at 112. He made $1 on it, $1 per share, I guess. He bought it at 111. It's at 112 right now.
Mm-hmm.
You bought it at what price did you buy AMD?
I bought it at 12.
It's at 19, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, how much did you sell of it?
Either 50 or 100. I only have 50 left.
Oh man.
Well, it went down to like 7 for like a year.
Yeah, I know. No, I thought it was like cause I remember I was following because you mentioned it, but now it's like you almost doubled your money.
Yeah. Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody.
What did we learn today, Jay?
We learned we actually are capable of coming up with good ideas.
Yeah. So instead of investing in Disney or crypto, you can invest in our ideas and make real money.
There you go.
Yes.
All right.
You want go.
I was just going to say we will be back in probably September.
Yes, back in September.
Because I am taking what is hopefully my last CPA test on August 28th.
Yes.
And then hopefully we'll be having more Brinks.
More Brinks, more Nicks, more everything.
So thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back soon. Goodbye.
My love. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end.